Next, interesting article from Ad Age. The CMO mandate, 5 shifts that matter now. So let me read the 5 shifts. Connected systems are the foundation of growth. AI accelerates, but your gaps set the speed limit. Agility starts with clarity. ROI requires shared ownership. And marketers are now change drivers. So these are all amazing points. To me, the few that resonated with me is AI accelerates but your gaps are the speed limit. So it's true. So AI is helping you move things forward as a tool, like we've always said. But if there's gaps in your knowledge, gaps in your skill set, it's going to show. AI is not going to fill that gap, and no platform is going to fill that gap, right? So it's a tool. And then the last one I think that really resonated with me is marketers are now the change drivers, and so which is interesting. And it even says here is this: the CMO role is expanding in every direction. We're still expected to build the brand, drive demand, and now we're also expected to influence revenue, guide AI adoption, and shape operating models. Okay, so what I just stated there is the reason why marketing people need to get paid more. Honestly, we have a hard job. Seriously. And so, but this just goes to show you that as marketers, right, I believe that statement lends the case for why the people that specialize too much in one area of marketing is going to be the thing of the past. That's my opinion. Because in order to do well, literally, we just read that, and it's true. It's you need to be, generate revenue, build the brand, right? Those are 2 separate functions, right? You need to, help with AI adoption. That's a 3rd function. Right? Like if you look at that, all of those things are true. And for marketers in today's world, this is why, it's essential. This is why we always say, you need one eye on the big picture and one eye on the detail. Always. And so, Catherine, we always talk about it. Big picture thinking. Mm-hmm. Literally, This is exactly what we're talking about here. So yeah, if you guys could chime in, what do you think, Catherine, John, what do you guys think on this?
There was a time when marketing roles, the titles for these roles were very separated. Very. Right. Like, I remember meeting somebody that worked somewhere and her role was director of storytelling. Okay.
Right.
But so that's an extreme example. But even having titles such as PPC specialist or content creation expert, we're seeing all of that fade away in favor of more generic director of marketing, marketing manager, marketing associate, roles like that, because marketers have been forced to wear many hats at once. But in a way, I feel like it's a good thing, because as a marketer, I've always believed that we needed to have a hand and a role in helping to generate revenue, because if you look at the sales funnel, it's all right there. Marketing is responsible for creating content and materials that can assist in the sales process, and that's really what we should be doing. But there was a time where there was such a thing as a marketing communications role, and they tended to do a lot of internal communication stuff in bigger companies, helping to create messaging for in-house. Okay, all of that, do we even really need that? Because with the help of AI and people being more savvy about creating their own emails and whatnot, we don't even really need that. I think that the trend of the marketing roles shifting is a good thing, because we always should have had a hand in the revenue. That, to me, that's always what marketing's been about. This is another example of AI being like a great way of exposing weaknesses. If you were not handling marketing this way to begin with, you had a weekend marketing department. Like it has a way of exposing inconsistencies and gaps in places that you should have had addressed in your personnel, and you didn't, and now you need to.
And it really is important, because for those of you listening that have, let's just say, an agency, or you have a PPC guy, or you have a whatever you want to call it, right? I have someone to do that for me. Social media intern, whatever it is. Make sure every member that is handling any channel of your marketing understands big picture, understands, hey, here's what's happening on the PPC side. Here's what's happening on the social media side. Here's what we're doing on the search side, the AI side, the GEO side, the AEO side. Here's what we're doing, right? Here's what we're doing to build citations. Here's what we're doing in email marketing, because it's all important. You need a coach and a quarterback that really understands these channels well and pull it together. So, John, what do you think? Really quick, want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, like that's one of like the more like enticing things about marketing is you go in and you're doing tons of different things, especially now. Like you said, you know, in the past there have been many different roles and very specialized areas of marketing, but I think now because of AI, I agree that everything is getting more generalized. And in some ways, maybe for the worse in some ways, like maybe people not being specialized means some messaging somewhere might be a little bit more inconsistent, or the quality might be a little bit more inconsistent, but people, you know, have the chance to do different things. And I think having a more diverse job will make people, you know, more passionate about what they're doing, or, you know, feel like they're not doing the same thing over and over again and just getting, you know, bored of it.
Right. Absolutely.